No, don't you dare touch that. You froze mid-air, your fingers brushing the soft fabric of Jungkook's precious black oversized Balenciaga shirt. The deep sharp voice sliced through the air like a knife. You turned slowly, grinning with the most innocent expression you could muster. Hey babe, fancy seeing you here. Jungkook leaned against the doorway, arms folded over his chest, jaw clenched. His dark eyes bored into yours, unimpressed. You were standing inside my closet. You held up the EMF ghost detector with a little shrug. I'm going on a case. I needed the shirt. It has good luck vibes. Jungkook walked closer, his black earrings swinging slightly. He reached over and plucked the shirt straight out of your hands with practiced ease. You ruined my limited edition bomber jacket last month, chasing a banshee across a muddy graveyard. You are banned from my clothes. You gasped dramatically. That was one ectoplasm stain. It barely counts. Jungkook gave you a long, unamused stare. Barely counts? I had to throw the whole jacket away. You crossed your arms stubbornly. Okay, fine, but at least give me something. I'm freezing and none of my clothes feel right. He raised a brow, annoyed but clearly expecting this nonsense. You own clothes. Many. A whole closet full, in fact. You gestured down at yourself in exasperation. I'm wearing my own clothes right now, but they just don't have that vibe. Jungkook blinked slowly as if trying to translate your logic. What vibe? He dramatically flopped backward onto the bed with a groan. The perfect ghost hunting, demon kicking, late night running with you by my side vibe. Jungkook scoffed. Then buy something new. You sat up instantly, narrowing your eyes playfully. But why would I shop when I have the perfect walking talking designer store right here? You wiggled your brows at him. You. Absolutely not. Jungkook walked over to his dresser, pulled out one of his thick, worn black hoodie, and tossed it at you. Wear this. It's indestructible, unlike my patience. You caught it with a small pout. But I like wearing yours. Jungkook stared at you down coldly, voice flat. Not anymore. You gasped dramatically again, hand clutching your chest. So cold, so heartless. Are you really the man I agreed to marry? Jungkook smirked, stepping closer, brushing your hair back fondly despite himself. Yes, and the only reason you survive is because you are lucky I love you. You tugged the hoodie over your head with a satisfied grin. Love you too, you big grump. Jungkook exhaled slowly, shaking his head as you skipped past him toward the door, EMF detector in hand. And if you even look at my black Balenciaga again. Yeah, don't you dare touch that, got it. You waved over your shoulder with a teasing giggle and disappeared into the night. Jungkook stared at the empty doorway, muttering under his breath. Why am I engaged to a menace? The wind howled as you zipped your black tactical jacket over Jungkook's oversized hoodie. You stood outside the crumbling building with your ghost detector flickering in your hand. Mark pulled up in his beat-up black van, jumping out with his signature crooked grin and messy hair. Woo! He yelled dramatically, shining a flashlight under his chin. Ready to hunt some souls? You groaned. Mark, stop doing that. You scared me more than any ghost. He laughed and slung an arm over your shoulders. Come on, partner, admit it. I make ghost hunts more fun. Behind you, Jungkook's voice came through the comms in your ear, flat and cold as ever. If you call this fun, you both seriously need therapy. You smirked and tapped your earpiece. Relax, CEO Grumpy Pants. We'll be careful. Jungkook's sigh cracked in your ear. I have a board meeting at 7 a.m. Please try not to get possessed tonight. Mark leaned closer, whispering, Bet you tried to steal his shirt again. You elbowed him. He caught me mid-theft this time. Mark nodded, classic, then pointed dramatically at the theater doors. Shall we? The place was dark, musty, and full of broken chairs and torn red curtains swaying eerily. Your EMF reader beeped. Mark spun his ghost goggles over his eyes and gasped, "Dude, cold spot, dead center stage." You both crept forward as the lights flickered. Suddenly, an angry female spirit in a long, tattered white dress materialized and shrieked. Mark yelped, dropping his equipment. "Nope, I'm out." You grabbed his arm before he could bolt. "Mark, we have to banish her or she'll keep haunting this place." The ghost lunged. You dove left. Mark tripped and rolled behind a piano. You scrambled for the salt gun. "Jungkook's status update?" His calm, cool voice came through. "You're both idiots." "We know." You yelled back, firing a blast of salt at the spirit. It wailed and dissipated temporarily. Mark peeked out from behind the piano, hair sticking up. "Okay, that was close." You glared at him. "You were supposed to back me up." He brushed himself off. "I was providing emotional support." Suddenly the ghost reappeared behind you. Mark screamed, "Emotional support is over, bye." You spun and fired again, barely managing to stun it. Jungkook was sitting in his luxury penthouse office watching the disaster unfold on the security cam connected to your body cam feed. He pinched the bridge of his nose. "My fiance, my best friend, 2 children playing Ghostbusters at 1 a.m. His phone buzzed. His secretary texted, "Sir, do you approve tomorrow's board presentation design?" Jungkook stared at the screen, sighed and typed back, "I approve. Also, please remind me to double my life insurance." You and Mark cornered the spirit. You held your glowing amulet. Mark held the ghost net. The spirit screamed. Mark shrieked louder. "It's coming at me again! Mark, now!" You shouted. Mark closed his eyes and tossed the net. It landed over you instead. You flailed under the net. "Mark!" Mark cringed. "Oops, sorry, habit." The spirit laughed cruelly at your chaos. You finally pulled free, rolled your eyes, and blasted the ghost with the amulet light. With one last cry, it vanished into a puff of cold mist. You and Mark collapsed onto the dusty floor, panting. Mark lay dramatically spread out like he was dead. "I saw the light. I was ready." You laughed breathlessly. You were such a drama queen. Jungkook's voice came back through the comms, sarcastic and unimpressed. "Congratulations, another night of unnecessary chaos survived." You grinned up at the cracked ceiling. "That's what makes us the best team, babe." Jungkook sighed, "I'm going to bed." Mark called out cheerfully, "Night, Dad." You laughed hard. Jungkook's dry response was immediate. "Not funny." Mark winked at you. "Totally funny." You stood, dusted yourself off, and looked around at the trashed theater. "Come on, we have got a report to file, and Jungkook is gonna lecture us for hours." Mark stretched and followed you to the exit. "Put some softness in your man. He's always serious." You just chuckled. You stumbled into the pristine, ultra-minimalist kitchen like a zombie, hair sticking out at odd angles, wearing Jungkook's enormous black hoodie and mismatched socks. Mark was already at the island counter, comfortably eating cereal straight from the box with a giant spoon, also wearing one of Jungkook's hoodies, and also in Jungkook's penthouse without invitation. Jungkook stood by the coffee machine, perfect as always, suit tailored, watch gleaming, hair neat, cold expression intact. He watched you both with a mixture of horror and exhaustion. You yawned and waved. "Morning, fiance." Mark held up his cereal. "Morning, Dad." Jungkook deadpanned. "Mark, I will throw you out of my apartment." Mark shrugged. "Not before I finish my Lucky Charms." Jungkook rubbed his temples. "I own this place. Why do I feel like a guest in my own home?" You collapsed at the counter, dramatically tugging the hoodie tighter around you. "Oh, I'm sore." That wraith threw me like a rag doll. Jungkook arched a brow. And whose fault is that? You gave him a sweet fake smile. Love you. Mark leaned over. She tried to wear the shirt last night, didn't she? Jungkook sipped his black coffee calmly. She did, caught her red-handed. Mark chuckled. Classic. Jungkook turned to you, voice cool and funnel. You have an entire closet of your own clothes. Try wearing them. You waved dramatically at your current outfit. I'm wearing my clothes. Jungkook gave you his signature blank stare, then gestured at the oversized sleeves of his hoodie hanging past your hands. That's my hoodie. You tugged it tighter around yourself, smirking. Yeah, but mine doesn't give that ghost hunting badass fiance of a cold CEO vibe. Jungkook stared at you in disbelief. There is no such thing as a ghost hunting badass CEO's fiance vibe. Then buy new clothes. You batted your lashes innocently. Why would I buy clothes when I have the world's best dressed boyfriend slash walking clothing store right here? Jungkook gave you the iciest glare possible. Absolutely not. Mark whispered under his breath. Cold, ruthless, merciless king. You giggled. Jungkook pointed a warning finger at you both. Not anymore. No more shirts, hoodies, jackets or socks. My closet is now off limits. Mark tilted his head. Even the sacred black, oversized Balenciaga shirt? The room went silent. Jungkook's expression turned sharp, voice dangerously low. Especially that shirt. He whispered dramatically to Mark. Legend says no mortal has ever worn it and lived. Mark whispered back, eyes wide. One day I'll claim it. Jungkook, hearing everything, rolled his eyes and walked away toward the bedroom. I'm blocking both your access cards. You and Mark burst into laughter as soon as he disappeared. Mark raised his spoon in salute to the cool CEO with the warmest heart. You smile softly after Jungkook. Yeah, even if he pretends he hates us. The front door burst, a new case alert. You stood up immediately, excitement lightening your tired face. Let's go, another haunting. Mark grabbed his gear, grinning. Time to cause more problems. Jungkook's voice echoed from the hallway. Do not take my clothes. Can't believe he's a billionaire and cry about some clothes. You slipped on Jungkook's pair black windbreaker before leaving. Mark noticed and whispered, grinning. You are so dead. You winked. Worth it. The door shut behind the two of you as Jungkook came out of the bedroom, coffee in hand, already exhausted by 8 a.m. My life is a circus, he muttered, sipping calmly. Jungkook returned home early from work, setting his keys down on the marble counter. The apartment was unusually quiet, suspiciously quiet. He loosened his tie, walked into the living room, and froze mid-step. There, casually sprawled across his expensive leather couch, wearing the sacred black oversized Balenciaga shirt, sat Mark, hair still damp from the shower, eating chips from a bag, totally relaxed. Jungkook's entire soul left his body. Mark? Mark glanced up lazily, grinning. Oh, hey Cook, what's up? Jungkook stared, slack-jawed. Why are you wearing my shirt? Mark looked down at himself, then back up innocently. Oh, yeah, I just took a shower. Didn't have my clothes with me. Borrowed it real quick. Jungkook's eyes narrowed dangerously. That shirt is off limits. I didn't even let Wayne wear it. Mark shrugged, stuffing another chip in his mouth. Man, chill. You make a ton of money. It's just a shirt. Stop crying like a child. Jungkook clenched his jaw. It's not just a shirt. Mark held up both hands. Why are you always so mad about clothes? You act like I stole your bank account. Before Jungkook could reply, the front door opened and you stepped in, humming softly. You froze the moment your eyes fell on Mark. Your jaw dropped dramatically. Oh my god. You pointed, eyes wide with mock betrayal. You are wearing the shirt? Mark grinned proudly and stood, striking a pose. Doesn't it look good? You gasped again, dramatically spinning to Jungkook. I get banned from breathing near your closet, but Mark can just walk around in the holy relic of Balenciaga? Jungkook groaned and rubbed his temples. I didn't give it to him. Before he could finish, Mark slung his arm around Jungkook's stiff shoulders. Best friend, my lady. There are certain bonds in life. He wiggled his eyebrows at you. Best friends never ask, they just take. That's the rule. Jungkook shoved Mark's arm off coldly. Get off me. You gasped again for extra drama. So let me get this straight. You let him wear it. I didn't let him, Jungkook started. You banned me for eternity. You cut in. I get death threats for even thinking about that shirt. Mark dramatically gasped. You try to take this too? I thought I was special. You sighed dramatically. You were special. Now you are just another victim of the John Closet curse. Jungkook spun toward both of you, glaring. You two are the same. Thieves, always behind my clothes. Since college, always sneaking my jackets, hoodies, sweatpants. Mark interrupted with a fond chuckle. Oh, the college hoodie saga. Remember that? You nodded with fake nostalgia. Ah, yes, Operation Hoodie Heist. Spring semester, I almost lost a finger. Jungkook shot both of you a deadly glare. I remember I never got that hoodie back. Mark smiled wide. I wear it at home sometimes, super comfy. Jungkook sighed like a man carrying the weight of two irresponsible children. Why do I even try? You stepped closer, hands on hips, because deep down you love us. Jungkook stared at you both blankly. Deep down, I considered changing my name and moving to another country. Mark casually walked to the mirror, admiring the shirt. Honestly, I get why you protected this. It's insanely soft. 10 on 10 would steal again. Jungkook grabbed a throw pillow and chucked it at Mark's head. Mark ducked, laughing hysterically. You doubled over laughing too. Jungkook turned to you with narrowed eyes. And you are just as bad, always creeping into my closet at 2 a.m. like some burglar raccoon. Mark burst out laughing. That's staying forever. Jungkook sighed so deeply you swore you saw his soul leave his body. You two will be the death of me. Mark tossed him a soda can. Come on, Cold King, admitted life would be boring without us. Jungkook cracked open the soda, stared at both of you and smiled faintly despite himself. Unfortunately, you are right. You nudged his arm. See, you love our chaos. Jungkook shook his head with a defeated grin. I tolerate your chaos. Mark slung an arm over both of you proudly. The chaotic trio strikes again. The doorbell buzzed. Jungkook groaned instantly. Please tell me that's not another case. You checked your phone and gasped. It's an emergency call. Haunted art gallery downtown. Mark fist pumped. Adventure awaits. Jungkook stood silently for a long second, then drained his soda in one go. I already regret saying yes. You linked your arm with his and kissed his cheek. Too late, babe. We ride at dawn. Mark slapped Jungkook's back. Don't forget, I'm wearing the sacred shirt tonight for good luck. Jungkook shot him the iciest look. Touch my closet again and I'll banish you. Mark winked at you. Totally worth it. The three of you exited the apartment. One cold CEO, one mischievous best friend in forbidden clothes, and one ghost detective who always got away with everything. Chaos awaited. The ghost hunt was quick and fun. Everyone was fine. The haunted painting had been cleaned. Mark may or may not have fallen through a trapdoor again, and Jungkook, silent brooding, his black shirt slightly singed. He muttered something about needing a new skincare routine after dealing with spirits and idiots. You giggled the whole way home. You were changing into comfy clothes when you heard Jungkook called out. Get dressed nicely, I'm taking you somewhere. You peeked out. What? Why? He buttoned his sleeves calmly. Because if I don't romance you soon, you and Mark will turn me into a cynical demon forever. You gasped. Is this a date? He gave you a rare, tiny smile. It's your date. You stepped onto the rooftop and gasped. Tiny golden fairy lights twinkling overhead. A dinner table was set with candles. Soft music played in the background and the city skyline glittered beyond the glass walls. A warm breeze lifted your hair gently. Jungkook stood beside the table in a black turtleneck, holding a single white rose. You blinked slowly. What is this? He offered the rose. A moment with my fiance and soon-to-be wife. You snorted, laughing, but the way he looked at you made your heart flutter. He pulled the chair out for you like a gentleman. Sit, eat, relax. Don't think about ghosts or cursed shirts. You grinned and said, letting him pour you wine. I didn't think you believed in dates. He sat across from you, gaze steady. I don't believe in wasting time on people who don't matter. You are not one of them. Your heart stuttered. John Jungkook, was that a flirt? He smirked. Am I not allowed to flirt with my fiancé? You giggled. Later, as you finished dessert, you both leaned against the balcony railing, watching the lights below. His hand slowly found yours, fingers intertwining. Hey, you know I act cold, but that's just how I've always been wired. You stayed silent, letting him speak. He turned to you, voice lower now. But with you, my life doesn't feel the same anymore. You looked at him, he continued. I get home and it's not quiet, it's a mess. You and Mark are in my kitchen, touching my stuff, ruining my socks, making ghost plans and stealing my shirts. He exhaled, and I love it. I love coming home to that chaos because it's you. He met your eyes. I don't want to go back to who I was before you came crashing into my world. Your breath caught in your throat. Should I believe you? His thumb brushed your knuckles. You don't even let me wear your clothes. You whispered, teasing, hiding the flutter in your chest. He chuckled softly, eyes crinkling at the corners. I don't because you ruined them. Fair, but he leaned closer, voice gentle. If it means keeping you close, you can take the entire damn closet. You laughed softly, eyes warm, even the sacred shirt. He groaned. Don't push it. You leaned your head on his shoulder, both of you watching the stars overhead. For once the world was quiet, no ghosts, no haunted paint, no trapdoors or banshees, just you and the man who used to guard his emotions like a vault, now offering his heart like it was the simplest thing in the world. Hey Jungkook, I love you, even when you are a cold-hearted CEO with shirt rules. He smiled. I love you, even when you ruin my wardrobe and drag me into haunted theaters. You laughed softly again and he kissed your temple.